Hello, my name is Heather Vangerud, and I am the facilitator for the Inspired Voices singing group, which meets the second Thursday of each month. Because of and we meet like at 11 o'clock, which is after your big group. Anyway, this month I have some family issues that are going on the week I would normally come, so I talked to Lynn about providing a video for you all to think about mindful melodic breathing. So I'm going to talk about breathing a little bit and the importance of it to both speaking and singing. My background is actually I'm a retired speech-language pathologist. I worked both adult rehabilitation and also in the public schools as a school speech clinician as well. And I have used singing and breathing in all aspects of my speech-language practice. I'm not a music therapist, but still it fit into my practice in working with children, in that a lot of early language learning happens in concert with singing. A wonderful example is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, set to that beautiful Mozart tune. And in adult rehab, when I was practicing with adults, I used a form of therapy that's called melodic intonation, which involved singing and melody as well to enhance and promote speech production in my clients who had head injuries and strokes and such. So that's sort of my background with that. The other thing I wanted to share with you is that I am a classically trained singer. I performed both opera and musical theater and have taught voice as well in my home studio. But I myself learned about the importance of breathing. I had studied voice for several years before I moved up to the Bay Area, and I had a voice teacher who, my first lesson, she said, "Heather, you have a wonderful voice, but it will never go beyond what you have now unless you learn to breathe properly." And she said, "So, for the next 6 weeks, when you come to lesson, we will be working on your breathing." And I went, But it was the best investment of time that I've ever made. I learned a lot about how to breathe properly, to have proper body position, to be able to use my breath effectively for musical phrasing, it just enhanced the whole singing experience. And so I'm a firm believer that it's important for us to step back in both when I was a speech pathologist and a voice teacher, to invest that time in working on breathing. Oftentimes what happens is as we participate in various activities, we learn some breathing forms which are very good for that particular activity. So for example, if you're a runner, you need your air very quickly, and so you're going to use a form of breathing called clavicular thoracic. So you can get that air in fast and get it up to the brain fast and to the muscles fast, and that works for runners and swimmers, and but it does not work for singers. So we're going to work on the best form of breathing for singers and speakers, which is abdominal breathing. So I would like to start out with just taking a moment and thinking about where your breathing's at. I would like for you to put your hands on your abdomen, below the belly button, and just take a few breaths in and out. I like to do this with my eyes closed because then I'm not only feeling, but I have that internal sensation and I'm not looking around at other people. So feel free to do that. That really helps with the mindful breathing, is to sort of close the eyes and to feel what your body is doing. So, and when I'm thinking of that breathing, I'm going to stand up here a minute. It is lower abdominal breathing. It is below the belly button. So those thumbs should be below the belly button. And that's where we feel the very beginning of the breathing cycle start, is down in the belly. I have some visual things that I use to help illustrate breathing. So I'm going to use the slinky. When our lungs work and when we take air in, and pretty much everybody takes air in the same way. I participated in a breathing study when I was in college that compared how we took the air in when we were taking air in for speaking and how we were taking air in for when we were singing. And typically the mechanism was about the same, and most people actually end up taking those belly breaths to get a good breath of air in. But what happens is when we take the air in, here we've got it in the lungs, and all that our lungs want to do is this. They just want to recoil or collapse. And what we learn to do as speakers and singers is to be able to take the air in and to control the movement of the air out. And that's where the abdomen comes in. Back in the olden days, I heard numerous voice teachers and choral directors say to me, "You must sing from the diaphragm," which is true. You do sing from your diaphragm, but it starts by taking air in and toning these muscles to pull the diaphragm down. So air goes in, starting with the abdomen, and then is released with abdominal control so that our lungs just don't contract or collapse really quickly. Scientific or medically, this is used for people who have asthma and breathing problems, is to reorient their breathing and to use their abdominal muscles more efficiently to get a breath in and to be able to control the breath going out. And actually that purse breathing that is suggested sometimes for people that are having difficulty breathing, I can say this because I have asthma, activates those abdominal muscles so that they will work more efficiently for you. So, what we're going to think about next, moving from the breathing now to the posture. In order to be able to take that good belly breath in, we have to have the posture to allow that muscle to move. So, what we're going to do is a little postural activity. I'm going to move out here a little bit. And I'm sorry for the fuzziness of this. I have not been able to figure this camera out. My husband and I taught online middle school choir during the pandemic, which, believe me, was a real interesting experience. But anyway, this was a problem with being able to get the right shading, and it seems to want to go. It's probably a cheap camera. That's probably what's the problem is. But anyway, I will try to keep myself in focus for you as best I can. So we need to create a structure which will allow the air to flow easily in and out of our lungs. So I want you to think of the visual image of a building that's being built. It has a strong foundation. And then they put those girders up, and that's really the strength of the building. So let's say we have a powerful windstorm. The way those girders are supporting each other on that foundation will allow the air to go in and out of that structure. And we need to think in the same way with our bodies. So I'm going to give you just a little quick inventory of posture. So we want our earlobes over our shoulders. We want our shoulders over our hips. Our legs are in alignment with our hips, and those ankles are under the knees. Now I like to be slightly out towards the end of the chair, but I know you do you, okay? So do what works for you. But as best as we can, we want to make sure that all of this is lined up. Ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips, knees or legs are out from the hip muscles or hips, and knees are over your ankles. And this is whether we are in a sitting or a standing position. It is the strongest position that we can maintain, is when all of that is in alignment. Okay, we will start with a few shoulder rolls to get our shoulders nice and relaxed, and also to think about our alignment. So you can either put your hands down to your side, or I like to do what I call chicken rolls. So I'm going to roll the shoulders back 4 times. 3, 4. And then I'm going to roll them forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you might experiment with doing it with the hands down or with the chicken roll. Your choice. See if there's any difference. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and forward. 2, 3, 4. Another move I like to do to think about posture is what I call the Frankenstein. So we bring our shoulders up towards our earlobes, and we just move them back and forth. And then we slowly and gently release them. And that position you end up in will most likely be where those shoulders should be, to allow space here in the vocal mechanism. So let's try that again. One more Frankenstein. Up, this side, very gently shake to the side, and release. And you can let the air out too. Now we're going to think about the neck and the jaw. Let that jaw be nice and loose, relaxed. You can even open your mouth if you want with this. And once again, on any of these exercises, you can do it with eyes open or eyes closed. If I wasn't doing this program and trying to monitor what I'm looking like in this camera, I would most likely be doing this with my eyes closed so that I can really focus in on what my body is doing. So we're going to bring your jaw down towards your chest. And now we're going to draw a smiley face with our nose. So we're going to go up one side, taking the air in when we go up, and then release the air. And then we'll take the air in on the other side, and release. Think about where those shoulders are at. And up one side, and release. And up the other side, and release. And then gently bring the jaw up again. Yeah. After we've done that, we're going to do another check of our posture. Earlobes over shoulders, shoulders over hips, knees in alignment with your hips, and those ankles under your knees. And that's good for either sitting or standing. That's our strongest position, and it also allows us to move in any direction safely. Okay, now let's talk about the breathing, the actual mindful melodic breathing exercise that we're going to do. I like to do, and when I come in October, I'm coming in October for one of your larger group sessions to do a session there, and we will include this breathing. I like to pair it with music, because when we sing, we are singing to some kind of rhythm. And actually, there's the rhythm of speech as well. So I'm going to, we're going to use the Pachelbel canon in D. And when I have the group session, I'm going to have noodles. We'll all use the noodles together. We'll gently hold on to them. And we're going to do, but at home, if you're practicing this at home and you'd like to review this videotape to think about breathing at home, you can use a paper towel roll. That was the other thing that I learned from online choir. We wanted them to be using musical instruments, so it was amazing. We asked the kids, you go home, you look around your house, in your kitchen, anywhere, and you come up with a musical instrument that you can use during our singing sessions. And it was incredible what they came up with. It really was incredible. A Folgers coffee can be a bongo. So anyway, and as you can tell, when we have our singing experience together, I do love to use rhythm instruments. So I have a whole bunch of things that I like to make music, singing, and noise together. But anyway, when we meet together, I'll have these noodles, and I call this our noodle pump. So we're going to bring the noodle down here to our abdomen so that we remember that's where the breath starts. And this is also called box breathing or four-sided breathing. If you Google it up, you can also find triangle breathing, which is a little bit different than what I do, because I like to have the relaxation part of the breathing, which the triangular breathing does not. Oh, I know, the triangular breathing does not have the holding. That's the part where we bring it up and then we hold for 4 counts. That's what differs between the box breathing and the triangle breathing. But you can Google both of those up to check them out if you'd like to do that as a mindful breathing practice. So I like my noodle down here at my abdomen. I'm going to do my posture check. Earlobes over shoulders, shoulders over hips, knees in alignment with the hips, and ankles under the knees. So as we breathe, we're going to take the air in on 4 counts. Hold for 4 counts. Release the air. Bring it back into the abdomen and relax. 2, 3, 4. So let me take you through a whole cycle, counting it. Air in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Release, 2, 3, 4. Relax, 2, 3, 4. This is a good reminder that those shoulders are in alignment as well. Can I do this with one hand? Yes, absolutely. Air in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Release, 2, 3, 4. Relax, 2, 3, 4. I've actually had people do it on the table too, where they move it out, they hold it 4 counts, they bring it in 4 counts, and then relax. The reason for doing an activity that's that pairs with what we're doing, with the task we are trying to accomplish, is it enhances the learning. It's called doing a simultaneous task. And they found in brain studies that if we do something simultaneously with something else that we're doing, that it really enhances the learning of what we're trying to learn. And in this case, mindful melodic breathing. That's just a tidbit of information. But I'm going to hydrate. Need to hydrate. Hydration is very important to speaking and singing, and especially since we've been going through this tremendous heat, to keep those vocal cords nice and hydrated is really important. You're probably going to hear some other noises going on. Right now, the city of Chaska is going through a huge infrastructure project with Highway 41, which seems to be encompassing everything in the neighborhood. And this was the first day I was able to open the windows without the air conditioning and let some fresh air in. So I apologize for the extra noises. When we go through the mindful melodic breathing, at the end of the piece, we have a guest soloist who decided to join me while I was recording the music. So you'll get to listen to her. So let's begin. I'm just going to put us on a pause for a minute so that I can get my music queued up. Thank you. We will start the exercise with just relaxed breathing, and I will talk you through the whole mindful melodic breathing program. So, just with your hands on your abdomen below the belly button, I want you to feel the movement of the abdominal wall when you take air in. Just a couple more breaths. Sometimes helps to take the air in through your nose too. Now we're going to think about our posture. Earlobes over shoulders, shoulders over hips, knees in alignment with your hips, and ankles right below your knees. Take a few breaths with that in your readjusted posture. Take the air in through your nose and let it out through your mouth. One more time. And out through your mouth. Let's start the shoulder rolls. I'm going to do the chicken rolls, so think about your posture, and now we will begin. 1, 2, down, 3, roll, 4, roll, and rest. Now forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time backward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Release the arms. Put them to your abdomen. Now we're going to bring the jaw down to your chest and gently roll the neck to one side, taking the air in and release. And create a smile with your nose. And release. Another time each side. Up we go, taking the air in and release. Air in and release. Bring the chin back up. Let's do the Frankenstein. We'll bring our shoulders up, gently shake and release. One more time. Shoulders up, gently shake from side to side and release. Now I'm going to take my noodle and we'll start the noodle pumps. Gently breathing. And ready for air in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Release, 2, 3, 4. Relax, 2, 3, 4. Air in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Release, 2, 3, 4. Relax, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Release, 2, 3, 4. Relax, 2, 3, 4. Just take a nice breath in and a nice breath out. And that is our mindful melodic breathing exercise. Yes, the guest soloist was my cat, Quinn. And if I did not have her in a kennel, she would be up sashaying herself around right in front of the computer screen. She's very, she has a lot of personality, let me put it that way. So, I hope you enjoyed today's mindful melodic breathing practice. At the beginning of each session, I do a breathing activity, which includes music. Many times it's this, or I have another one, which I will bring with me when we do it together when I come in October for the larger group experience, which I'm calling A Taste of Inspired Voices. And so we'll do some mindful melodic breathing and try out a couple of tunes and see if that's something that you might be interested in participating. As I say, the regular singing group meets on Thursdays. I keep mixing it up with Tuesdays, but it's on Thursdays, and you have your larger group, I believe meets at 9:30, and then my group starts at, or the Inspired Voice singing session starts at 11 o'clock. We have done a lot of different songs. The last one I called Croon Tunes, and so I selected songs from famous crooners from the past and some who I consider to be crooners of today. But we've had thematic, a theme that sort of draws all of these songs together, and enjoy singing them with you and enjoy laughing and talking about music that you like, and it doesn't always have to be singing. I've had instrumental people as well in my groups, so it's perfectly okay to hum during the time or just to relax and enjoy the music that we're doing. I do like to finish our session with a hope for me is that I hope that I leave you with a song in your heart and a smile on your face. So I shall look forward to meeting with you in October. Thank you so much for breathing with me.